Hi everyone, welcome back. I'm Di, and today I am bringing you my June manga haul. I have about as much as I usually do for these hauls. I am in a different filming location just because where I normally film, it doesn't get any of the cooler air. That being said, it is summertime. It is the season that I despise the most, and for those of you who haven't been with me for a while, I do not have central air conditioning, so I have a cooler, and so I am sitting in a direct line of that cooler at my desk, and so this is where I will be filming probably for the rest of the summer. I hate summer, I really do. It doesn't make me feel good, and yeah, so I hope this is okay. I did bring my lighting, so everything looks okay on screen. But yeah, let's get into the manga haul. So this is all of the manga that arrived in June, not everything that I purchased in June. I don't think I've made that specification before, but just so you know, when I do these hauls, it's manga that has arrived during the month that I'm filming for. So even if I purchased it during that month, if it didn't arrive by time the month is over, I do not count them for the haul. So let's get into it. Again, they are not categorized in any particular order. That's just how I like to do things. And so right off the top, and I do have all of my manga in a stack right here. So right off the top, we have Yakuza Lover. This is by Yozoni Mino, Volume 1, published by Viz, rated mature. I do have a series first impressions video on this one already on my channel, so if you'd like to hear my thoughts about it, definitely check out that video. Next up, I have Meison Ikoku, Volumes 3 and 4 from the Collector's Edition. These are published by Viz, rated older teen. I have been collecting these because I really want to read this series. Like I've said before, I have watched some of the anime and really enjoyed that, so I'd really like to experience the original source material. So that is why I am collecting these. I have The Daily Lives of High School Boys Volume 5 by Yasunobu Yamauchi. This one is published by Vertical and is rated 13+, so teen. I've been collecting these for my daughter. She had told me that these are pretty hilarious, and so I'm looking forward to jumping into these. They are rather short, and so I think they're going to be really fast reads. I just haven't gotten around to reading those, especially with the fact that I was prioritizing LGBTQ+ manga in the month of June for Manga Pride reads, but I'm hoping to get to these this summer. I have Call of the Night, Volume 2 by Kotoyama. You may or may not know that I already have a series first impressions video on my channel for the first volume, and if you'd like to hear my thoughts on this one, definitely check out the link down in the description box below. But this one basically follows a guy named Ko who has insomnia, and when he decides to venture out into the night for the first time, because he is a teenager, and so he ventures out on his own without his parents noticing, he runs into this vampire Nazina. And they decide to make a deal with each other, and so this is one that I'm very curious to see what's going to happen in this volume. I'm looking forward to getting more of that story. Then my mom gifted me Frozen 2, the manga, adapted by Arina Tanemura. This one is published by Viz, rated teen. Arina Tanemura's art style is one of my favorites, and so when I was talking to my mom about this one and that I was going to pick it up later, it wasn't on my immediate to buy list because, I mean, it is Disney. I don't have the drive to get into Disney stuff as much as I used to when my daughter was younger, but because Arina Tanemura did the art for this, I was really wanting to get my hands on it because her art style is just gorgeous, and so my mom picked it up for me. So thanks, Mom. Next up, I have the last volume of Merman in My Tub, story and art by Ito Kichi. This was published by Seven Seas and is rated teen. Like I said, this is the last volume, so now I have all of it, and I'm really looking forward to again reading this summer because I think it's going to be a nice, hilarious ride. Plus, all of the aquatic creatures, I think I'm really going to enjoy this. So that is volume 8. I have Royal Tutor volume 15 by Higasa Akai. This one is published by Yen Press and is rated teen. This is a story that we've watched the anime for, and I'm really looking forward to reading more of the manga. I can't remember how many volumes I've read, but I believe my daughter is up to date, and so being that a new one came out, I decided to go ahead and pick this one up. Again, I don't know how I missed this one, but I also have volume 6 of The Daily Lives of High School Boys. I seem to keep missing the release on that one because I'm having to pick up 2 volumes at a time, not realizing that the previous one had come out, so I totally missed when volume 5 was released, and so when I was writing down my list of things to purchase, I noticed that it said volume 6, and I was like, wait a minute, I don't think we have volume 5. So I looked back at my list, and sure enough, it's a good thing that I've decided to, make these purchase lists, because otherwise I wouldn't know a lot of the time what I had bought, what hadn't come in, and so it's really helping me out to do that. Anyway, back to the manga haul. Next up, I have The Witch and the Beast, Volume 5 by Kosuke Satake. This one is published by Kodansha, rated older teen. I have a manga series sampler up on my channel for this series. This is one that I was really, really enjoying, and I really, really need to get back to. And these covers I just really, really enjoy. Purple's not my favorite, but I do love the art style. I think it's really intriguing, and the story is very interesting as well. I'm looking forward to revisiting that series. Next up, I have Perfect World, Volume 6 by Rie Aruga. This one is published by Kodansha, rated older teen. I do have this series digitally, but I have not read it yet. Since it is coming out physically, I decided to go ahead and support the physical publication, and so I am collecting these even though I do have the digitals. I think I'm going to wait until I have that whole series before I decide to dig in, just because I think it's going to be one that I want to marathon. Next up, I have volume 15 of What Did You Eat Yesterday by Fumi Yoshinaga. This one is published by Vertical and is rated... It doesn't say. I would have to believe this is rated teen. I have read all of the previous volumes. I borrowed them from my library, so that was quite a while ago, considering my library has been closed for the good part of 2020. I personally am not borrowing physical books from the library just yet. So since we enjoyed this series so much, I decided that I did want to start purchasing them. I know some of these volumes are really hard to find, but I think what I might do is go ahead and purchase digitally up until where I have physically. And I think from here on out I'm going to purchase physically. But I think Kodansha had a digital sale in June sometime, and they had the first 8 volumes of this series on that sale, so I did go ahead and purchase those. But this is a series that my daughter and I are really enjoying. It talks a lot about food. There are actual recipes in here, and I just really, really enjoy watching this couple go through their lives and have conversations over meals and creating recipes. We usually see this guy do most of the cooking, but in the more recent volumes, we've seen this guy venture into cooking, and I'm really, really enjoying it. I'm really looking forward to getting into that one. I didn't read that one for Manga Pride Reads because I did get it pretty late in the month, but I will be reading that one as soon as I can. I have volume 2 of A School Frozen in Time, art by Naoshi Arakawa, story by Mizuki Tsujimura. This one is published by Vertical and is rated older teen, or 16 plus. It says 16 plus in the back, and that's usually older teen. Very intrigued by the summary of this story. So it basically has these school students who get trapped in their school, and I believe one of them commits suicide, so they need to figure out which one of them that is, and I think try to stop it, if I'm not mistaken. But it definitely sounds like a cool mystery type of story, which is right down my alley, and I'm looking forward to getting into this one. I think I want to get one more volume though. These are medium-sized volumes, and so I think to get a good grasp of what's going on, I'd like to have one more volume before I dig in. I have volume 3 of Those Not So Sweet Boys by Yoko Nogiri. This one is published by Kodansha and is rated teen. This just looks like a super cute series. I had said before that I really enjoy Yoko Nogiri's art style, and now that I have 3 volumes, maybe I'll do a manga series sampler for you. Let me know if you'd be interested in that down in the comments below. I have volume 2 of Starcross by Junko. This one is published by Kodansha, rated older teen. This is a body swapping story between a fan and I don't know if it's Japanese pop or Japanese rock, but he's some kind of musician. And yeah, so it sounds interesting. I'm looking forward to it. I really love the colors on this cover, and they're really, even the first cover was super fun with the colors and things like that. So looking forward to getting into that. I have the last volume of Blue Flag by Kaito. This one is published by Viz, rated older teen. Now that I have the whole thing, I can finally marathon it when I am in the mood to do so. As I have mentioned before, I have to be in a specific mood for emotional titles, and so you don't see me read a lot of emotional stories, but knowing about what I've heard other people say about this one, I am definitely looking forward to experiencing this story, but I'm just not in the right mood for it right now. I don't want to risk picking it up when I'm not, because that could affect how I feel about it. So now that I have it all, I can pick it up whenever I want, and I am glad to have this in my collection. So next up, I have My Summer of You Volume 1. This one is by Nagisa Furuya, published by Kodansha and rated older teen. This is a manga. Look how thick that is. Looking forward to this one. I can't remember what it's about. It's about these 2 boys who meet each other and kind of share a love of watching movies, and then one of them confesses to the other that he feels romantically towards them, and the other one doesn't. But I believe as the story goes on, the one that doesn't slowly has a change of heart on that one, and so I'm looking forward to experiencing this. I'm really excited that this one is pretty thick, because usually that means there is more story inside, and so yes, My Summer of You Volume 1. I have Spy X Family Volume 5. This one's by Tatsuya Endo, published by Viz, rated older teen. This is a series that I am just collecting until I have the whole thing. The only thing that's preventing me from picking this one up right now is the fact that I know I'm going to want more once I've gotten through all of the volumes that I have, and I don't do well with waiting. That's something about me as a reader. That's why I read mostly backlist titles, and if you have watched any of my booktube videos, you also notice that I don't buy very many books. I don't do book hauls. I only do manga hauls. And so, yeah, I know that I'm going to be disappointed if I get up to the last volume I have and there's no more out in publication, and so I am holding off on this, but I think it's going to be right down my alley again, and I'm really looking forward to it. I have Knight of the Ice Volume 6 by Yayoi Ogawa. This one is published by Kodansha, rated older teen, about our main character who cannot land his quads unless his best friend is chanting his favorite magical girl chant or whatever. I believe this is supposed to be a romance between the two of them, and I haven't dug into this yet, again, because I believe it's going to be something I want to marathon, but I'm almost positive this is going to be one I really enjoy once I have it all. Next up, I have Oku, The Inner Chambers by Fumi Yoshinaga. This one is volume 18, published by Viz, rated mature. This one came to me like this. With the velvety cover, not wrapped in plastic, though it does say explicit content warning on the front. This is a series that I have been collecting. I believe there's only one more volume until it is complete, so I am going to wait for that and then marathon this series. This would only be my second Fumi Yoshinaga title that I've read, but I really have been enjoying her art style and What Did You Eat Yesterday, and so I'm looking forward to getting that last volume and marathoning this one. Next up is a light novel. This is Solo Leveling Volume 2 by Chugong. This one is published by Yen On and is rated older teen, 16 plus. I have not yet read Volume 1, but I have recently heard that Yen On is starting to do audiobook versions of their light novels, and the first volume of Solo Leveling is going to be the first one to come out. I believe that's going to come out later this month, and so I will probably be picking that up with my Audible credit in August. So I'm really looking forward to that. I believe the narrator for this one is going to be Ki-Hong Lee, and so that's super exciting as well, but this is a story that I've heard a lot about. I believe it is an isekai, which is something that I'm not usually one to read, but I've heard a lot of great things about it, and so I'm looking forward to experiencing this once that audiobook comes out. 2 more volumes of manga to go, and then I have some graphic novels at the end, like I have had the last few months. So next up, I have the third omnibus of Loveless. So this is volumes 5 and 6 by Yoon Koga. This one is published by Viz and rated teen. I have been collecting these because I want to read through this series. It's one that I've heard great things about, though I can't really tell you what it is about. I do have the first 2 volumes in the single editions that were done by Tokyo Pop, but now Viz has the license and has been releasing them in these omnibus editions. And this one is one of the older series, and so I'm trying to pick up or fill in gaps in series that I own that are older, rather than just sticking with brand new stuff, because I've noticed that I've had a tendency to just keep buying new stuff and not filling in stuff that I need to fill in, and so this is one of those series that I want to fill in and finally read, so I'm starting to do that with this one. The last volume of manga that I have is Set Off of the End Vampire Reign Volume 19. Story by Takaya Kagami, art by Yamamoto, storyboards by Daisuke Furuya. This one is published by Viz, rated older teen. Like I said before, I have been picking this up for my daughter primarily because she is up to date with this series. It is definitely one that I am still wanting to try again. I didn't have a great experience with the anime. I think it's just because I wasn't in the mood for a story like that at the time that I had started it. But it's one that I think I should enjoy just based on the summary, and just haven't gotten around to trying to reacquaint myself with it. So I think what I may do is just try out the manga instead of going back to the anime. Let me know your thoughts on that but yes, I primarily bought this one for my daughter so that she has more to read. We are still behind on the publication on that, but slowly catching up. And then the last thing I have to show you are the witch graphic novels, which I have been collecting. Like I said, these are nostalgic pickups for me and my daughter. Technically, I'm the one that wanted to read them. My daughter was really into this cartoon when she was younger, and she does have the first set of graphic novels in the single editions. I did collect those for her, and so now that they're coming out in these bind-ups, which are really gorgeous, I just wanted to have them. This is part 4. I believe there are 7 or 8 parts out at the moment, and all of the parts are 3 of these omnibus editions, and so we are again behind on collecting that. But this is number 10 technically, part 4 volume 1, this is part 4 volume 2, and part 4 volume 3. So I am looking forward to getting into this. I keep saying that, I just haven't gotten around to it. I do have some readathon reading that I want to do in the month of July. If you watch my TBR, you know I am participating in the Full Metal Challenge. This is just a readathon that will occur over the next 3 months, so July, August, and September, where we are striving to create a Philosopher's Stone. It is a readathon, but that doesn't mean that you can't just read manga to fulfill all the prompts. So I will link the announcement video from Novel Serendipity. She is the one that is hosting this reading challenge, down in the description box below in case you're interested in participating. But the month of July is ingredients, so we're trying to collect all of the ingredients for our Philosopher's Stone. And one of the prompts for that is to read a middle grade, read something middle grade, and these definitely count for that. So I was thinking of maybe picking the first arc up for that prompt, though I do have a novel already picked out for that. But I really wanted to revisit this series, so I may do that, even though I've got a ton of reading to do in the month of July. So that will do it for the June manga haul. I do have a stack already that has arrived for the month of July. So I haven't put together my July planned purchases list yet, which I'm actually pretty behind on that because I usually have that done by now. But yeah, let me know if you'd be interested in me sharing with you what I put on my planned purchases list. Normally, though, I always get what's on my planned purchases list. So anything that shows up on that list usually shows up in my manga haul, plus whatever else I purchase on a whim. So yeah, I already have stuff showing up for July, and I've got this nice stack of things that have showed up in June. So since I'm not filming in my normal spot, I won't be able to hold up the stack for you like I usually do, but I hope you enjoyed seeing all of the manga that arrived in the month of June. Let me know if you've also picked up any of these, or if you've read any of the things that I showed in this video. Let me know your thoughts on them down in the comments below. No spoilers, please. But if you've made it to this part of the video, if you could leave me a butterfly emoji or the word butterfly down in the comments below, that would be greatly appreciated and would really help me out, and that will do it for me today. So I hope you're all doing great. I hope you're all safe and healthy. And until next time, take care and smile always. Bye!